Tam Talks explores life, spirituality, and general weirdness through quirky storytelling and laughter, lighting you up in your life journey. Let's go!
Hey everybody, Tamiah here. I just wanted to tell one of my favorite stories, one of my favorite ghost stories, if you want to call it that, from my childhood. And actually, it's not even childhood. This one is from my teen years. And it's actually kind of freaky because I've always been in tune with kind of like ghosts. And I love, getting tarot card readings and was always intrigued and interested in, the spirituality and paranormal, if you want to call it that. So this occurrence was very interesting. So a little bit of a backstory. We lived in a townhouse in Milton, Ontario. So that's a suburb of Toronto. And we shared the house with my grandparents. And so there was my mom and my brother and I. My brother had his room in the basement, and then my grandparents kind of had the master bedroom upstairs, and then my mom and I each had just the regular bedrooms upstairs. So I would have been, I'm trying to figure out how old I was. I think, well, no, because my brother, so anyways, I would have been in my teens somewhere. And at some point I was like, you know what, maybe I'll move my room downstairs because I want more room, and it's kind of like, the cool thing to do. So anyways, I asked my mom if that was cool. So I moved into the bigger room of the basement, which was super cool. Made it my own, had it's such a mess. Anyways, so I remember being home alone. And so I don't know where my brother was. My mom, I don't know where she was, probably at work. No, because it wouldn't have been during the week. Anyways, nobody was there. My grandparents probably were upstairs, in their room. But I would have been going out, and I don't know about you, but when I was a teen, sometimes I would just wash my hair downstairs in the laundry sink. So I'd flip my head over the sink. I had my shampoo and conditioner and towel down there and all my stuff so I could get ready. So I was doing that, and where the sink was in the laundry room was kind of as you come down the basement stairs, you would turn directly around and then head to the back, and there was this door, and behind the door was the laundry room in there. So, and my bedroom was to the right before you got to the laundry room in the big area, and then the opposite side in the corner was a little door, and then off of that was my brother's room. So I'm in there, and basically there's only one door in, and then you're kind of in the corner of the house. So here I am, and I always had this thing about basements. I always was creeped out about them, so it was really random when I thought it would be cool to put my room in the basement, but I think it was because my brother's room was there, so I felt protected. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And I could always sense energies, and even dark energies and stuff. I got really strong vibes in different places. So anyway, so I'm in this basement going, okay, I'm just going to wash my hair because I was going wherever or whatever the reason was. So I'm downstairs, and when your head, if you flip your head over, you can kind of look through underneath your arms and you can see behind you. Well, so there I am, washing my hair. There's all this soap in it. And I open my eyes and I see behind me this man standing there in a trench coat, clear as day. And I'm thinking, whoa, someone's in the house. What the heck? So I whip my head up, obviously, out of instinct, turn around. There's soapy water splashing everywhere, all over. I turn around to where he was standing, and there's nobody there. And I'm thinking, okay, have I lost my mind? And I'm no, I saw someone. So I grab the towel or whatever, and I walk slowly because where I saw the person would have been right near where my room was. So if there was someone there, they could have stepped into that main part of the room. So I'm inching my way out and I'm looking, and there's no lights on, of course, in the main room. Anyways, it was just creepy as heck. So I go past, I just run. I peek. I'm like, okay, I don't see anybody at first glance. So I just run. I go up the stairs and I'm like, oh my gosh. So when my mom got home and my brother, I told them, and I'm like, okay, so now that you guys are here, I'm moving my room back upstairs, number one. So I need you guys to come with me and, just be here because I'm totally freaked out. So that was absolutely a spirit, a ghost, whatever you want to call it. There was no living human in the house. We searched and it was not. So I moved my room back upstairs. And I was like, okay, I don't ever want to see that or experience that again. Years later, I was getting a reading from a medium. I love readings. I love getting readings. And I just love it. I think it is so magical. And doing what I do now and having the intuitive capabilities that I have now, it fascinates me and it makes me respect it even more, because even then I was attracted to that special talent. I don't even know if I want to call it a talent, but that gift that people have, which I believe everybody has. Anybody and everybody can tap in. It is our natural, like who we are. But anyways, so years later, and I think it was actually at like a restaurant and we were out for dinner. Anyways, I was getting a reading and the person said to me, they were like, do you remember that time? So they were communicating with a guide and they said, do you remember the time when you were in the basement and you saw a man there with a black trench coat? And I'm just like, whoa, what? Like I was baffled. And I'm like, yeah. And the guy says, well, that was your dad. Your dad wants you to know it was him. And I remember thinking, okay, but it didn't look like him. Like I didn't recognize him. So like, how could that have been him? Anyways, the message was, that was your dad. And I'm thinking, whoa, there's no way that this medium could have known that. The only way would be if the spirit who was there, aka my dad, was the one who validated and reminded me of that. So anyways, that's one of my, I would say, like, I don't want to call it creepy, but that was one of the stories that scared the liver out of me at the time. And even now, I think I would be terrified because it's just so unexpected. Anyways, so that's my story for this episode. And feel free to share your stories with me or ask questions for future podcasts, because I love sharing all these wacky experiences and stories. So stay tuned. There will be more. And I hope you enjoyed my story. All right. Peace out.
Thanks for hanging out and listening to my wild and wacky Tam Talks. Follow Tam Talks to be notified of new episodes. Peace out!